This episode of the Esoteric Order of Roleplayers is brought to you by the generosity of our backers on Patreon. Go to patreon.com/esotericrp to find out how you can become a backer too. Remember to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to keep up with all the latest news, and join our Discord community to chat with players and fellow listeners. The Esoteric Order broadcasts from Santa Fe, New Mexico. We recognize these episodes are produced on the traditional territory of the Tewa-speaking Pueblo peoples, and we acknowledge their community, their ancestors, their elders both past and present, and future generations. The Esoteric Order of Roleplayers present The Great Game, a Castle Falkenstein campaign, with David Larkins as the host. Okay, so yeah, as I was saying, we'll see if Alex makes it, but we'll just press on, picking up where we left off 2 weeks ago in the mystery, no, not the mystery, the haunting of Brodick Castle. So, I know it's only been 2 weeks on the calendar, I'm sure it feels like a lot longer for everybody, but can anyone remember where we left off?
First of all, rest in peace, Sean Connery.
Yes, indeed. Interesting timing there.
Yeah.
I just trotted out my trademark Connery.
That's right. But the late Sean Conn was... I think here. What did happen? There was a rumor that... I'm not going to get any of these names. That the Lord of the castle was having an affair. Man, I remember Jade running interference with some country bumpkin type, perhaps.
He was like guarding the entrance to the gardens.
And he was
the
carriage driver. That's right.
Yeah.
And I think that we had just found, or you guys had just found, kind of like a service passageway in the Hedge maze
with a scrap of fabric.
Yeah, I unlocked it.
Hungled up.
That's right. You picked the lock that was beyond me.
I pulled the push.
Right.
But yeah, there was like a little cutout in the hedges, though, that was hard to see, and it had a scrap of spooky fabric, but it was physical fabric.
That's right.
And so we were just about to duck through the hole.
Oh yeah, that's
as
the best.
They say.
That's the thing we do best. That's why they hired us.
Take it to the hole. All right. Good. Yes, that's about what I remember as well. So just to refresh your memory on the rumors that Frederick was able to gather down at the tavern, that the Isle of Arran is a shadow of what it once was. The clearances saw wealthy individuals take advantage of poorly written Scottish law to evict farmers and consolidate land into larger farms, focusing on sheep herding instead of food growing. Many have left the Isle for cities on the mainland looking for work. Those that remained ended up earning less due to depressed economy and less employment opportunity. The McElroys did their best to fight against these clearances, but there was little they could do against the force of the law. And then, related to that, there aren't many fairies left on the Isle of Arran. Many left during the clearances, choosing to follow departing humans with whom they had formed cultural and family bonds. Others vanished into the hills or waters and haven't been seen since. And then lastly, Laird Thomas McElroy has been seen around the village with Fiona Logan, the pastor's daughter, who has the voice of an angel. Some whisper the two might be having an affair, not that it is anyone's business.
And then one of us, I believe it was Astrid, had met with the Laird's wife.
Mm-hmm.
She had some kind of medical condition. Is that right, Astrid?
She was quite depressed after her miscarriage. And so, yeah, has been in quite the malaise for the last year. Because of her room's location in the castle, I think she just happens to see the lady a lot. And I did see the figure when I was over on that side, before we got locked in our wing of the castle. But yeah, so. But nothing other than that I could find medically wrong with her.
All right. I believe that about covers it. Unless there's anything anybody else remembers. Otherwise, we will pick it up. Yeah. So yes, this cleverly cut narrow passage in the hedge that seems to point back towards the village. And the bit of fabric that you found belonged to, or not belonged to, but rather seemed to be a woman's scarf.
That is as I recall.
Yeah, same.
Just so that I'm clear, or can we even tell? I know it's dark and everything, but the way that the scarf was it snagged coming out of that passage or going into that passage? Like, is it obvious?
It was on kind of an outside bramble, so probably going into the passage.
Cool.
So we could be following somebody.
Yeah, that's the whole point. We're gonna be like, hey, are you a ghost?
Right. Alive or dead? Friend or foe?
I was gonna have my invention ready for this session, but Santi got busy at work and couldn't help me figure out how to do it, so I don't have anything now.
Your ghost glasses? Was that it?
I was gonna make basically like a spirit box, like
that's so, right.
Yeah, so that I could capture voices.
Trap from Ghostbusters?
No, like for voices, like when you have a little radio and you're like, are you here with us? And it's like, you know, and then you get creeped out even if it doesn't say anything.
Yeah, that is spooky.
Sounds like it said maybe
I even researched it. I was like, I'm going to use a piezoelectric crystal sandwiched between two metal plates, and it was going to be a thing.
That's awesome.
So,
well,
but I didn't finish it, so.
That's okay. Some alternate universe got it, and they're loving it.
It's true.
Indeed. All right. Just got a text from Alex. He's on his way.
Nice.
Okay. So.
Blended.
All right. So you want to go through the passageway, do you?
Of course we do.
And who's Astrid's leading the way? Is Jade with us, or is she still?
She
with...
was
I think
still.
I still have to extricate myself from the Scotsman.
Okay.
Or
Hot Scots.
Hot Scots.
They were, quote, sharing a cigarette, end quote, now.
Probably going to try and extricate myself once I finish this cigarette. But it took a lot of practice to get it to look right, since I don't breathe.
Right. You either weren't pulling enough or you're pulling too much. No, of course he doesn't breathe. Yeah.
Oh my god.
If you've ever noticed, like, watch just a little too closely, like, even blinking, you have to, like, oh, that's right.
All right. You creatures do this, don't you?
Yeah.
No, yeah. No one. So you like the whole fairy race exists within the uncanny valley.
Basically.
Completely.
No wonder Grant's so weirded out by it.
I would say unless someone's trying to stop me, like Astrid's curiosity would not allow her to think like maybe I shouldn't be in front. She'd be like, well, this is the way, obviously, and she would just go. But
I'm okay.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like I take that as my responsibility to lead, to head the charge, to be in front, to bear the brunt, to protect my friends from any potential,
to block our view.
Yeah, to block our view. Iskander,
also to obscure your.
While I appreciate
line of
your
sight.
while I appreciate your defense of your friends and your meaning to protect us and all, perhaps we should let those who are a little sneakier or perhaps more diminutive go up front until we know that there's a force with which to be brunted, and then we'll throw you on up there.
And worst case, I'll just plank, and then you can move over me.
There you go.
I see. Yes, it's like you would arrange a group for posing for this daguerreotype or similar, so that everyone can be seen. This makes a lot of sense. Yes, thank you. Okay.
So
you've convinced me.
And I am going to say, Astrid, I mean, let's duck down. Iskander, try your hardest, and we'll maybe wait until Jade catches up, and then we'll all proceed together.
That sounds good to me.
Okay. I feel like I would try to. Alex.
There he is.
I feel like I would try to crouch down, but I mean, at some point I would be crouching and then realize that we're just waiting for Jade to arrive, at which point I would stand up again and, this is ridiculous. Dust off and stand back up.
Imagining like your leg is cramping a little.
Right, yeah.
Right. Especially because crouching is just kind of like hands on knees, like, a little kid looking at a frog. Like, it's about the extent of his stealthiness. So, eventually I'd feel a bit discomfited and just stand up.
That's fair.
Hands clasped behind my back, as usual.
I don't know. I feel like with all of my machine work that I've had to do, I've mastered the Eastern squat. So I can just sit like that forever. I'm good.
I'm probably just sitting on the ground.
Yeah, not a lot of chairs out on the open prairie, I imagine.
Yeah, I sleep
not
on
even
the floor.
Stumps, because there's like no trees,
I mean,
right?
There's plenty of trees. Just I'm used to. Anyways. Where's Breksta?
I'm still leisurely smoking a cigarette because I have absolutely no consideration for the fact that you guys are waiting for me.
Yeah, you didn't know.
It's a beautiful night.
Right, yeah.
That's true.
It's not bad tobacco.
Absolutely true.
Yeah.
Haas is with us, right?
Yeah, the rest of us went while Breksta was distracting the guard.
As you can tell, Alex, we're just still trying to sort out what the hell, where we all left off 2 weeks ago. So
right.
It's taken the entire last 40 minutes. Not really.
That's right.
It's been a while. But yeah, so basically, Alex, just to remind you, you were all all of you save Breksta were in the hedge maze, and you had found a little secret passage, and now the current debate is whether to go down said passage or not.
I mean, I want to go, but if we want to wait for everyone to be here, I'm okay with it. But I don't want to lose our opportunity to see something, because I saw the lady before we came down here, and that took a while.
Well, if by the placement of this scarf, if she came through this way, that would indicate that she's got to come back out this way. So I think unless
she's a ghost, then she doesn't have to do anything.
Well, I mean,
She doesn't have to play by your rules.
That's very true. No one does. But yeah, I mean, I'm fine if Breksta's lost in time and trying to remember to blink and breathe. I think I think we can mosey on out.
Do you think we could leave her? Okay, so we're waiting for her here. She doesn't know we're waiting for her, but does she even know where we're waiting for her to meet us there?
No.
Admittedly, you guys are very stealthy, though, so I feel like it won't be hard to just listen to the mouth breathing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we should leave her a sign. We saw the scarf. We should leave her some sort of, yellow ribbon or something.
I'll take my hat off and put it on one of the bushes.
Unmistakable. I like it.
That's right.
This now raises the question of whether another party was in the maze earlier waiting for another person and left the scarf there as a sign to that person.
That's right.
And this is just one worm or Ouroboros just devouring its own tail.
Right.
We're just the next in the long line of sacrifices.
That's right.
Ghost woman.
Sacrifices.
The last group David ran this for.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. Who did Albert have? Oh, yeah, he had the black scarf. Okay, let's write that down.
Wait a minute. It's all ad hoc signals to the missing party member? Always has been.
Yeah!
Always has been.
All right.
All right, well, Astrid.
So,
let's do it.
Astrid, lead the way.
Doing it.
Okay.
And then we
looking
have
around. Oh, sorry, I'm smashing my microphone because I'm so excited. I'm looking around.
And what's
That's
our
why
marching
I have the tiny
order?
hands because my big hands are too violent.
The tiny hands. All right. So you venture into this narrow pass-through, and it is indeed just barely shoulder width wide. The branches and the leaves are sort of brushing against your clothes as you walk. And then it is open to the sky overhead, but the hedges are constantly trying to kind of come in and join up. So it's just the narrowest strip, which means that it is essentially pitch black, and the only thing you have as a waypoint is the end. Fortunately, it's a straight pass through, so you can see the twinkling lights of the village, out the other end, which gives you something to walk towards at least. But probably it's that thing, it's it's like when you get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom and you don't want to run into anything, but if you were on night vision, you just look like such an idiot because you're just walking with your hands out you're just doing that. You're doing the midnight bathroom walk.
Awesome. That's one of my skills that I'm good at.
One of your specialties? Good. So, but yeah, no, the passageway is, it's about 20 yards. And you can tell just from the feeling of walking through it that it's well trodden. There's no brambles or dry twigs or anything like that. You're just... Your way is unimpeded, and eventually, you do emerge out the other side. There's a low stone wall with a little wooden gate in it, and a footpath on the other side of the gate that leads off down towards the village.
So this is an unguarded entrance into this garden that otherwise they're charging entry fees for.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So based on the way it's located, does it seem like, even though it goes out towards the village proper, that maybe most people still wouldn't know about it? Is it obfuscated in any way?
Well, yeah. So kind of turning around, getting a look at it from the outside, you can see that it's every bit as cleverly camouflaged on this side as it is on the other side.
All right. So this is a secret fuck tunnel. I mean, based on the clues we have so far.
There is a rather large garden shed nearby as well.
Oh, okay, yeah. Gotta check out the shed. Like Evil Dead style, just tool shed. And then...
Tool shed, yep.
Yeah.
Right.
Who kept the scrap of scarf? Who held on to that? Astrid, did you keep that?
I know I definitely examined it, but I don't know that I kept it. I don't know if we established that.
I didn't take it.
I feel like someone would have held on to it. If no one held on to it, I would have. Yeah, I definitely would have tucked it into my pocket if no one else pocketed it. But had someone else kept it,
your pockets are probably bigger, so
fine.
it's fine.
Well, hopefully my hat doesn't become someone else's clue in this never-ending Ouroboros of fuck tunnel traps.
Some sort of in the long grass kind of scenario, except it's in the private fuck tunnels.
The name of this episode.
That is the name. Chapter 3, in the private fuck tunnels.
Not one of those skeevy public fuck tunnels. This one is private, you see. Well maintained, constantly staffed.
Some dignity.
Yeah, but I would definitely stage whisper to everyone, decorum. Like, the path leads towards the tool shed.
All right, well, the way I see it, we've got, well, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 options here at least. I mean, we can go down there, we can kick that door open, or we can be all quiet-like and see if,
I think we should just open it and look.
If the sheds are rocking, don't come a knocking,
Well, are there any windows in the shed through which we might peer?
Indeed, yes.
All right, yeah.
Is there a hole in the wall through which we may see it all?
you could say that, yes.
Let's go up there and look through these windows.
All right. Well, unsurprisingly, since it's nighttime and there's no lights on the inside either, you just get a nice view of a completely black interior.
Is there any
Do
noise?
I hear anything? Yeah.
It's quite silent.
All right.
Also,
opening the door.
Astrid, how tall is Astrid? I imagine Astrid is like 3 feet tall for some reason.
I was really short. The problem is I have a different body because of a magic mishap, so now I'm not so short anymore.
Weird.
You may recall that. I'm not sure.
No, I don't.
I don't think you were directly involved in that in any way.
These things just happen.
Yeah.
Right. I can neither confirm nor deny.
Because I
Where's
was
my
like
Zuckerberg face?
4 foot.
Oh my
something,
God.
But now I assume I'm like 5 foot something. So I'm still not crazy tall or anything, but I'm not as short as I was.
Okay. I'm going to give Astrid, I mean, not that she needs my permission, but I'm just going to let Astrid do her thing.
I'm doing my thing. Since I can't see, my next best thing is to touch everything, obviously. So I'm just going to go inside and feel around.
That's right.
Okay. So we have to try
I'm
the
sure
door
I have.
first.
Yeah, I'm sure I could probably create magic out of 5 minutes of time, but I would rather just light a match.
Let me weave a flame from my hand. It's like, I got a match. Okay, that works too.
No time. No time to weave magic. We don't want any magical mishaps happening here. So.
No, we don't want to set the castle on fire.
Yeah, I'm just going to strike a couple matches and, give them to Astrid if she wants them, or I don't know if Astrid likes to play with fire.
Here are your 15 seconds of light.
Well, if you have a match, do you want to take it to the window and see if we can see anything from there before I go in? But I will take a match to go in as well. That's fine too.
Nah, we'll just go inside.
Go in first, and then if it seems kind of clear, light the match.
Yeah. I think that's fine.
Okay. Yeah, no, this is like one step up from the whole gazebo anecdote. It's like, ooh, the tool shed. Okay, so you open the tool shed, and there's a bit of ambient moonlight coming in, maybe, and you can see that it is indeed a tool shed. It's got It has, shears and hoes and rakes. It's the kind of tool shed you would think would go with a hedge maze.
I'm not a dwarf, but I do want to look for secret doors and tunnels and whatnot in this place.
Yeah, this is a little too convenient.
Yeah.
God damn it. All right. You figured me out. All right. Does anybody have above average perception?
Alex's or Frederick's, played by Alex, has the best perception, and then out of the group that's here. And then mine is also decent.
Mm-hmm.
I think, though, is Astrid the only one in the shed at the moment? Or have we all kind of piled in?
I mean, if I poked in and looked around and be like, there's just tools. I'm not seeing anything in particular. Could you help me look around?
Oh, yeah, I'll look around. So, let's see. I'll bring up. So this is a mental.
Yeah, although what's your perception at?
It's great.
Oh yeah, no, you're good. No need
Okay.
to play anything. Yeah, you take a quick scan of the shed, and it appears to be completely mundane. There's no real secret doors or anything like that. Except, wait a minute, what is this? What is this tucked in under one of the garden benches, tables, things? Is what appears to be like a lady's, I guess you could call it a dress box, like a box for holding dresses, right? It's not a hat box, it's a dress box.
Ah,
Right.
perfectly normal,
to keep
totally
your
normal thing.
ghost lady dress proper until you can sneak in through the secret fuck tunnel.
Mm-hmm. It's all coming
Maybe.
together now.
Maybe.
A dress box, you say?
Well, let's
Is
open
it-
this dress
what-
box
Yeah.
up.
Yeah,
Might
what
as
are
well.
the contents of this dress box?
Oh, they are called dress boxes. Oh, look at me. All right, so
Well done, sir.
That's right.
Something with a name that makes sense. How dare they?
Yeah, it does what it says on the tin.
Well,
it's like that. It's like that Mitch Hedberg joke where he's like, whoever was in charge of naming things in the refrigerator had like the easiest job ever. Like, what is this thing? It keeps things cool. Well, it's a cooler. What is this thing that keeps things fresh? It's a fresher. I'm going on break.
yeah.
Mitch
Oh
Hedberg.
man,
Rest his soul.
that dude was great. Every time I go to Hertz Donuts and they're like, "Do you want a receipt?" I always think of Mitch Hedberg. Like, it's a donut. You don't need to bring paperwork into this.
Yes, paperwork doesn't need to enter into this transaction. All right, so who's opening the dress box?
Well,
Astrid, I
Frederick
think.
found it,
Oh, okay.
so unless he hands it over. I mean, I would assume it's
True,
up to
true.
his curiosity.
All right, Frederick.
He is pretty curious, so he will open it, but I think he'll open it in a manner where everyone can gaze upon its contents at the same time. So sort of a theatrical.
Mm-hmm. All right, that's a good point to cut away to maximize the suspense. So what's Breksta up to? You finished your cigarette, and the group still hasn't returned. Jock is still up in your jock. Like, oh, you want to go down to the tavern anytime, shoot. That kind of thing. So
But what does a finished cigarette look like to somebody who can't breathe?
that too. Did you smoke it all the way down to the filter and then some?
No, I think at this point I've practiced enough and have I'm sure my first couple were silly or in one really big inhale burned the whole thing out,
Mm-hmm.
But at this point I'm pretty practiced. So I think that since we're kind of chit-chatting, I know that Frederick had brought back some gossip about the lord of the castle there. And since it's kind of dark, we're getting kind of cozy, I might try asking him, this is quite the spot for midnight stroll, I imagine. We're not the only ones to take advantage of the privacy here. Yeah, so probably just trying to, kind of suggestively, without being like too gross about it, kind of ask after the nocturnal habits of the other residents here.
Sure. So yeah, I mean, Jock, scratches his chin contemplatively, and he says, "Oh well, you get the occasional folk up from the village walking around, mooning over at each other under the moon, as it were. But the laird and the lady, they mostly keep to themselves, and apart from the tourists and whatnot, that's why I come out here myself. I'm supposed to make sure that people aren't trespassing after hours, in the labyrinth. So I let you lot through as a little favor, but don't usually do that. But I can never resist a pretty face."
You lot, eh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Well, I'm trying to think about what the best way to actually separate myself from this is. And I'm going to say maybe it would be something like finishing the cigarette, flicking the butt, and then maybe kind of like running off into the maze. But I'm imagining like going ethereal and possibly doing like throwing my voice like a giggle off in the wrong direction kind of a thing.
You're going to get him lost in the maze.
I mean, he won't get lost, right?
I mean, eventually he'll find his way out.
Oh, come on. I guess he's just standing at the entrance. I don't really care about consequences. That sounds fine.
That's all good.
What is this? Just death?
Cut to a skeleton in a pea coat and flat cap, some days later. Somewhere inside the labyrinth. Yeah. It's Jock's brand.
Fully decomposed skeleton.
Yeah, just instantaneous. Bleached bones.
When humans die, right?
Frozen.
Yeah, or frozen.
It's June. Or whatever time of year it is.
I'm imagining.
Cold.
It's late October.
It is late October. That's right.
This is my honeymoon.
Standing out here, though, I can't imagine that he's going to be, not dressed for the weather. So
he is. He's definitely dressed for the weather. He should be fine.
He'll be fine. Unless I'm literally a fairy. It's his own damn fault if he goes running after me.
Yeah, it's not like you're undercover or anything here. He knew what he was getting into.
That's right.
Yeah. Don't go chasing fairies into hedge mazes. That's on you.
We all know that song.
Please stick to the mortal humans that you're used to. Yeah.
Really that's right.
Thank you.
I'm so glad everyone picked up on it.
All right. So yeah, so you're you got him wrapped around your finger, and he goes chasing off after you, like, "Oh, come here, little birdie, ha ha ha!" Yeah. And then like within instant, like he's just lost, completely lost.
Fantastic.
And at that point, you can hear some chatter coming from the south side of the hedge, and for you, it would just be I'm assuming a simple matter of etherealizing your way out of the hedge. No need for secret tunnels or anything like that.
Probably just walk straight through.
Yeah.
Oh, they're this way.
Yep, exactly. Okay, so meanwhile, back in the tool shed, the lid of the dress box is whipped off in dramatic fashion, and everyone looks down, and indeed, you see a carefully folded dress of, black satin, velvet, and crinoline that looks to you, Astrid, exactly like the dress you saw on the Black Lady earlier this evening at sunset.
Interesting. So
we should inspect this to see if it's missing a swatch.
If there's a costume scarf missing. It's interesting because that means that the person has left, right? So they were there. It's not the Lord, because he was still in the castle when I was meeting with his wife, and that's about when I saw her. So it would have to be someone else. But they were leaving, not coming in at that time, or in the convene. Interesting.
It's a very nice dress. It's definitely not a costume dress. It's it was intended for actual like wear.
I wonder if I don't know. What do you make of this, Astrid?
So the tool shed is by the secret entrance, and then the town is kind of nearby. Does the track from here, is there like an obvious used path that leads to anywhere in particular towards the village? Or is the trail kind of cold here?
Yeah, it's just like a footpath. It seems to be one of those like I know there's a term for it, but it's like the shortest distance between 2 points, even though it's not the official way to get there. Yeah. It's like when you see two sidewalks joining at a 90-degree angle, and then there's a path that cuts across them because people are too lazy to walk to the edge of the corner and then turn, so that everyone's just cutting the corner, It's that kind of thing. So there's an actual like, gravel road from the castle down to the village, but this is like the faster route. So it's, it's probably used by, you would just infer that it would be used by this castle staff, like if they're having to go down to the village to get a goose or, whatever, right?
Is there a monogram or a dressmaker's mark anywhere on the dress?
Excellent question. There is not. This is definitely not a designer dress. It's well made, but it's locally tailored.
Locally, huh?
I mean, I guess we have to take it if it's one of our clues, but
I don't know. I think we should leave it here
and surveil it.
And either survey it or because I mean, the last thing I want is whoever's responsible or whoever's involved with these shenanigans being, aware that somebody's onto their games. However, I do think Haas is onto something here. Surely a dress like this, the local tailor may remember making such a thing.
Or would know who could, if there's back room seamstress or something like that, Or it could be imported. I mean, it is very cosmopolitan, modern times. It could have been ordered bespoke from Gay Paris, for all we know. But
that would have a monogram on it. Like if it was a Worth gown or something, it would definitely, you'd be able to tell.
So it's
that being said, the materials are expensive, right? So it's not like a peasant's dress or anything like that. But yeah, it seems to have been made locally.
And I think whoever made it would probably remember making this dress. It's pretty striking, right?
Definitely, yeah. I mean, it's got brocades nice. And gauzy veils and
sworn to secrecy. Is it? But okay, so is it missing a piece? Is it worn out? Like, is it missing our?
Does the scarf match?
Clue? The scarf matches. Yeah. The scarf matches. Yes.
So we can be reasonably sure that our clue matches this clue as well.
Right. Well,
so definitely during the day we could check in with tailors. We could even ask around the castle, like, oh no, one of my dresses has become unraveled. Is there anyone who can fix it for me? Because if it's nicely done, it may also be internal employees and stuff as well. Thinking, like, rewinding my brain, if I was a person dressed as a spooky ghost lady who had come in through this way, is there anywhere that I could look around in the path that would be, like, into the castle that's not the way we came around, like, through the garden entrance proper? Is that something I could explore?
Basically, as far as you can tell, there's the main drive up to the castle, and then there's this kind of back entrance. That seems to be about it. And the garden and the labyrinth, sit between this back entrance and the castle, pretty
Okay.
extensively.
What time is it?
Well, I think you guys.
Pop up at
Yeah.
Grant's elbow and answer with the time, hopefully scaring him.
Oh, I spooked for sure.
10 o'clock sharp.
Construct, but
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, I'd say it's like maybe about 10. So
I probably get so spooked that I kind of jump and then I slip a little bit and fall on my butt.
nice.
Thanks. I'll take the penalties. And then I'm looking at Breksta. Have you materialized?
yeah, I was just sneaky.
Oh, okay. I was like, I could have sworn. I thought a ghost had done snuck up upon me. And I'm going to get up and brush myself off.
Oh well, most ghosts are hardly as subtle as that.
Did you have any, did you get any information? Find anything interesting, Breksta?
Well, I do think it's interesting that our groundskeeper friend knows that all of you are back here. I trusted that you'd be a little more cautious.
I suppose we're not the sneakiest.
Other than that, not really. Just confirmations that the labyrinth is a place for the canoodlings of the village, or at least until recently.
Okay. I want to talk to the help. I think I don't know. I mean, to me, well, first of all, I'm cold. Secondly, my wife's in bed alone on her dang honeymoon.
Good point.
And third, I think this well's run dry tonight. Unless you guys, I mean, if y'all want to stay around and hunt for clues, be my guest. But I'm thinking about turning in here in a minute.
No, I think that's a good idea. I'd actually like to maybe post up by the door to our wing to see if I can hear when they unlock it in the morning. Hopefully they unlock it, because that was a whole thing.
Okay. That's fine. Any other agendas for anyone before morning comes?
Oh, I think we're going to leave the dress, right? And then the next day, among other things, maybe head into the village and see if there's a dressmaker.
Yeah.
We
and
can
then
take
even keep watch kind of where we can see that path, knowing where it is, to see if anyone actually uses it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, all right. Hold on a minute. I may have something. We'll see. But go ahead and talk amongst yourselves while I try to figure it out. Grant gets out his spell book and starts flipping through
is it
pages.
the magic equivalent of like the bank die, where they open the dress box and it's like, and then we know who it is?
That's not a bad idea. I was thinking more like a sentinel that's gonna sit here, and when somebody walks in, they're like, "Hey, Grant, somebody's in here and they're getting naked, and you might want to check it out. They're putting on this dress."
You know what we could do that would be funny? Is we could take the dress and leave something behind that looks like the dress until they try to put it on.
Ooh.
Can you do such a thing, Breksta?
Probably.
sounds like a glamour application. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm afraid if I mean, I'm a cautious man. I don't want to do an enchantment on this dress and then it turns to margarine and our plans are foiled.
Well, yes, it would be so bad if something happened to an inanimate object rather than a person.
I'm like, I don't know what you mean.
Duh. Go full on Jimmy Stewart. No. Wait, just a minute there. All right. Yeah, that's an interesting idea. So, what do you think, Breksta? Do you want to weave some glamour?
Sure.
Okay.
Let's see. What else can we fit in this box? just some random garden implement. Or I don't know, I could just do a bundle of leaves. That's fine.
Yeah, like a canvas tarp or whatever they use for gathering sticks and leaves or something.
There's definitely any amount of burlap sacks you want to take advantage of, for sure.
All right. Let's do it. Now the question is, can I do something where if it's picked up, it expires, as it were? Or like set a timer on it? Right.
Let's see here. Let's check out glamour. We haven't really had a lot of experience with that up to this point. Glamour. Let's see. Just use my trusty rulebook here. All right, let's see. Glamour. Not in the index under glamour. Fairy, there we go. Fairy powers, excellent. Okay. Okay, using fairy powers. A glamour stays erected until the fairy character either dispels it or has it dispelled. The fact that a mortal sees through the glamour has no effect on its continued existence. You can pick up fairy gold, kiss a fairy woman, or live in a fairy castle. The best way, then, is to think of glamour as an illusion with permanence and solid form. Sure. Okay, cool. So, let's see here. What's your glamour at?
Average.
Average, okay. All right, well, it kind of just would then depend on how realistic you want it to look. You know, the higher you can get it, the more realistic it'll seem and feel, and so forth.
If I'm at average, then that's a 4.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
That's correct.
Well, let's go ahead and throw down this bad boy.
All right. Was that a 9?
So 10.
A 10. All right. Cool. So it gets you up to 14, which is extraordinary. All right.
Just
excellent.
The real thing.
Pretty much. All right. Great. So you weave a little bit of glamour there, and you get your fake dress all set.
Since it's extraordinary, can I say that perhaps, like, I don't know, after it's been put on or something like that, or even like, I don't know, once it exits the shed, it turns into a burlap sack again.
Yeah, you can absolutely set some kind of... It's because it says here, remains erected until you either dispel it or have it dispelled, which indicates to me you can set some kind of trigger on it,
awesome.
You know.
I think
How
it
about...
would be funny to have it... Let's see.
What if it got it turned into burlap once she like got inside the castle or something?
Well, I was gonna say, Astrid, when did you see the figure from the castle? Which window was it?
Yeah, I could definitely describe the window that's like at the end of that wing where the lady has her room and everything, and where I saw them in the maze. And then it was about sundown, right? Is when it usually comes out. So,
yeah.
So I think it would be hilarious to have it be that as they walk by, like, say, the biggest bank of windows, it's going to turn back to burlap.
Nice.
Hopefully a public thing.
Absolutely. Okay. Cool. All right. Well, unless there's anything else, we'll proceed on till morning. And so, Astrid, you found a chair and passed an uncomfortable evening dozing on it next to the door, and you are awoken at about 6:30 in the morning by the sound of a key in the lock. And then
I open it really quick to see who it is.
All right, so it's the upstairs maid, you know, and she's quite startled. She's like, whoop! and practically jumps out of her shoes. And, you know, she's got, like, the key in one hand and then this big bundle of, like, linens and other, kind of like morning dressing, like she's gonna come upstairs and start, shaking out the curtains and the bedclothes and stuff. So it's like,
Jesus!
Jesus Christ! Yeah.
You're like, oh, good morning. Perchance, could you let me know why they lock this door at night?
Oh, just let me heart return to its normal rhythm. Oh, well, it's on the Laird's orders. He doesn't want guests wandering about at night for their own safety, you understand.
Oh, because of the ghosts?
Aye, and just unfamiliar passageways. This is a big castle after all.
Oh, it's true. It's very impressive. Do you need any help carrying your linens?
Oh, no, please, ma'am, I have it. That's fine, thank you. And she, very quickly, like, bustles past,
Cool.
And, as she's going up the stairs, muttering to herself, oh, damn tourists, gotta change out the chamber pots, and so forth.
All right, well, at least we've confirmed that it's on the Lord's orders, so, he's a butthole.
Butthole confirmed. All right. Plans for the day, then. Obviously, there's breakfast to be had at 9 o'clock down in the main hall.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
I'm going to go get... Not only am I going to get some breakfast, I'm going to sneak out before the missus wakes up and bring it back. Surprise her with breakfast in bed.
Nice.
Another thing for the maid to complain about.
Exactly.
That's right.
How'd they get grease on their sheets? Never mind, I don't want to know.
I think that Iskander, finding his room too small for the task, would find a wide open space for his morning constitutionals, consisting of exercises and stretches and Turkish get-ups, squat thrusts, shadow boxes, and so on and so forth.
Like
jog around the grounds.
Jean-Claude Van Damme in Bloodsport, you're just out there on the balcony doing like super splits.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
With your hands in like a prayer position,
You get a ponytail just for this scene.
Clip-on ponytail.
Oh, this is Steven Seagal action right there.
It is. Master of Harmony.
That's right.
All right.
Yeah, breakfast is good. And then did we want to split up on our village adventure with some people checking in with tailors and whatnot, and then some people keeping an eye on the shed? Or where all do we want to venture today?
I'm going to be talking to the help a lot.
Really?
Yeah, David.
Slumming it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and then see if there's an in-house tailor here too, like especially a very good one that tends to the ladies' gowns.
Good thinking.
This is going to be great because you're going to be talking to the help, and I know Grant is just going to have the hardest time keeping their names straight. He's going to be like, so Mary Margaret Catherine Deneen, you said it. She'll be like, Catherine Margaret Mary O'Hara. Like,
I'm going to write down their initials. I'm going to be like, M-E-M says.
Bold of you to assume he'd even bother learning their names.
That is correct.
all nicknames.
Yeah, it's all.
We'll have to roll to understand them. So
that's right.
fine.
Yeah.
There were
Damn it.
There were actually aristocratic households in Britain at this time where they would just assign names to the position. So like the butler would always be Jeeves, for example. It doesn't matter what your actual name was. It's just like that way it saved them from having to learn somebody's name every time they fired the last butler and hired a new one.
That's brutal and also efficient.
Yeah. Respect.
Wow. Odd respect.
Yeah.
Just take away their Individuality.
Yeah.
I'm not even mad. That's amazing.
If every like McDonald's window person was Jack, maybe things would be a little more personal.
And weirdly, every Jack in the Box window person is Mac. So
Now we're
who
talking.
could have seen that coming?
That's the harmony we need right now.
That's right.
Your Majesty, obviously.
Your Majesty. Oh, the Burger King window workers are Wendy, and the Wendy workers are Your Majesty.
There you go.
Anyways.
That was a bit of a tangent, but yes. All right,
Yeah.
So...
What's everybody else doing?
Right, so we got Grant talking to the help. What's everyone else doing?
My perception is good, but not great. I'm average at being stealthy. So I feel like if I could find a spot to post up in the village where I have a viewpoint of the burlap sack trail, then that would be fun.
Okay. Cool.
I think we'll go look for maybe the dressmaker.
Sure. Excellent.
I'll go.
I was gonna say
Haas and
Iskander's into
Breksta.
fashion, so I'd probably be interested in asking after that as well. But
And Iskander. Okay.
I don't know if
You
that's
could
the best
distract
use of
them
our
with
resources.
conversation about fashion while Frederick uses his great perception to like
See if they're
step
acting
out.
suspicious, just a little suspicious.
Okay. Cool. All right, good. So most of you are heading down to the village. And Grant's going to be hanging out at the castle. Okay. So, yep, you have your Scottish breakfast of the tatty scone and white pudding, which is also known as mealy pudding. Broadly similar to black pudding, the main difference being that it does not include blood.
Oh, well, I don't want it then.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say, well, fuck that then.
Now we're all anemic.
That's right.
Uh-huh.
Mealy pudding?
Mealy
I probably
pudding.
love it. Astrid loves new foods. She's
That's
into
true.
it. She's good.
It's made with suet, oatmeal or barley, breadcrumbs, and in some cases pork liver, filled in a sausage casing.
It makes me feel like a little bird because it's like suet and stuff. So I'm like,
Yep.
it's like a little robin eating in the spring.
I
I'm
did, yeah.
like the kind of gal who gets behind like some grains and like organ meat kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Shows a hardiness.
I like a pragmatism.
That's right. And that's one of Grant's 2 words for his personality. But, yeah, Grant's probably way into it because he thinks this is fancy. Even if this is just like regular, normal Scottish breakfast, he doesn't know. He's just like, oh, yeah, we're living the life. This is what Mama dreamed of.
They call it mealy pudding or whatever, but it looks like just a slice of like a whitish sausage, maybe nicely browned. It's probably actually kind of appetizing.
Isn't black pudding also a sausage?
Yeah, it's just
Okay.
like discs of like really dark,
It's delicious.
crunchy sausage, and it's fucking amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you can have your breakfast like a vampire.
I'm into it.
Oh, man. Get the
Good
full
thing it's
English
just like
breakfast next time you're at the.
Bacon flavored oatmeal loaf. Like it's,
Here we go.
There you
Bacon
go.
flavored oatmeal loaf. That's my
Pretty much.
nickname in high school.
What was the name of your sex tape?
That's how I got famous.
Yeah, you thought the money came from all that gold back in the day.
It was the sex tape.
Just imagining it's all black and white, silent movie, like
Totally.
someone playing the piano, and then it's freezes and goes to the black screen with the text.
Yeah.
No, not the bacon flavored oatmeal loaf.
Oh yes, the bacon flavored oatmeal loaf. I can't even say
yes,
it.
little lady. With nothing but
That's
the
right,
cowboy
yeah.
hat and the boots.
Oh
I
God,
could see that. Yeah, I could see that taken off.
I'm changing the subject before we get on to blood sausage puns.
Good, thank you. What do you got?
So I get
I'll just point out that at breakfast the laird is in attendance. If you have anything you want to say to him before you all
is?
split up, yes, of course.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, good, yeah. Well, while I'm kind of like piling up a plate from the buffet for the missus, yeah, I want to talk to the laird and be like, just comment and be like, man, slept like a baby last night. I imagine.
I slept so not suspiciously last night.
Yeah, exactly.
I was in bed all night last night and didn't do anything suspicious.
I slept like somebody who was in bed the whole night, which
Right.
I was.
I slept like I was locked in my room.
Yeah, slept like a baby last night. Laird. What's his last name?
McElroy.
McElroy. That's right. I might call him Mr. McElroy.
Yeah, I'm sure you would.
Yeah, and just be like, although I was surprised, if there was any ghost activity, I must have slept right through it.
So he says, "Well, the ghost normally only haunts the labyrinth. Doesn't usually come up into the castle."
Oh, okay. And does it cause any trouble out there, or scare any tourists?
No, it's totally harmless, and I don't want you poking around and trying to scare it off.
Hey, no worries about that.
He says with a little bit of a wink, you know.
Oh, right, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, I just, I've always been curious about the supernatural, and man, I would love to get a look at that ghost. You think you can arrange a meeting, Mr. McElroy?
Well, the ghost and I don't exactly have a personal relationship, but your best bet is around sunset, they say.
Oh, okay. That's good to know. Thank you very much. If you don't mind, I'm going to take this plate and I'm going to kind of like raise it up. Be like, take this plate up to the missus, surprise her.
Surprise her with some of that bacon flavored oatmeal loaf.
That's right. She gonna know. She gonna learn today.
Although, is Jock at breakfast?
Oh.
Wait, what?
Is Jock at breakfast? Yes, actually, he is. Yes.
Okay, I'm just gonna totally casual. Everything's normal, but probably like give him a wink across the table or something.
Ooh, all right. So he looks a little like conflicted now because obviously you ditched him in the labyrinth. But when you wink at him, he kind of gets a little smirky grin in spite of himself. Like, okay, I see how it is.
I do think, like in true Astrid fashion, like while you're talking about wanting to see the ghost, I would pop into camera, be like, oh, I saw her from this window over here in this wing. Is there any way that we could arrange to have tea around sunset to see her?
Oh, I would love that.
I too would love
this. A viewing party, eh?
Yeah, maybe we could all meet for tea and watch the ghost mosey on by the labyrinth, and then have cigarettes and coffee afterwards.
Because that's what you follow a tea with.
Right.
America.
Cigarettes and coffee.
Maybe some beans.
We got more beans, Mr. Taggart. We got to get through all that sugar.
All right. So he looks a little, he's a little thoughtful about it. Well, normally you have to purchase admission to the labyrinth in order to take your chances on seeing the ghost, but as you're paying guests of the castle, maybe we could arrange it.
That'd make my honeymoon just swell.
So delightful.
I'll give it some thought.
I I want to see. This is my meaning. This is my intentions.
Okay.
Is I want to know if this ghost is secretly cavorting with the Laird here. I kind of want her to like mosey through the garden and then like keep him busy while maybe one of us sneaks out and intercepts her.
Yeah, but if we have a tea party by the big window where I saw her last time, then the glamour wears off when she passes in front of the window. So we're just going to see some floozy in a burlap sack turban out there.
That's
and
right.
we'll be like, ha! Ha! Like,
is this your ghost? Okay, yeah. This can't go wrong.
No, there's no possible way this could backfire.
No consequences at all.
Nope. Mystery solved.
All right, so after breakfast, most of you walk on down to the village. So for Astrid, you can definitely take a seat on one of the outdoor tables outside the Eider's Down Tavern, which will give you a view of the trail up towards the castle.
Perfect.
And Breksta and Haas and Iskander, you go in search of a dressmaker. And it's not a big village, so you find one pretty easily. You find the signboard that has the golden needle and thread on it, and some dress forms in the display window.
Okay.
Well, let's go in.
Yeah. Seems like the direct approach is best in this instance.
Okie dokie.
For once.
The bell tinkles as you open the door. You see a somewhat stooped, aged man behind the counter. He's already at work, working on mending some pants. It seems pants in the American sense, and trousers, if you will. And but he looks up and he says, "May I help you?"
Why, hello there. We were just coming in to see if you do custom work and alterations.
Indeed I do. What is it you be needing?
Well, what experience do you have with gowns? You see, I'm looking for something for the winter now that it's getting a little chillier.
Well, my lady, I can tell you that I have sewn many a gown for Lady McElroy of the castle.
Oh, that's wonderful to hear. She does have such a sleek taste about her. Would you happen to have any samples of your handiwork, or perhaps what fabrics you're working in this season?
Certainly. Come over this way and I'll show you. And so he's got, a big wall full of like fabric rolls, And and he says, "The lady is very generous indeed. She orders full bolts of every fabric and then lets me keep whatever doesn't go into her dresses. So I have a good selection here, And he's taking you through all the, indeed quite nice fabrics that you recognize as being imported from the, the marketplaces of Europe and the Orient.
Oh, these are just lovely. She has excellent taste. Now, do you have anything in brocade?
Yes, of course. So he, pulls out a drawer and he's got some folded up swatches.
I confess, I thought I had seen, and perhaps it was just my recollection. Well, I saw something, like this. Can you do something like this? And I'm gonna try and, like replicate the dress on my own body. Because I've seen it.
Right. Oh, right.
And all my
Gotcha.
other clothes are just a fabrication, so...
Right, sure. Yeah, just kind of a...
Yeah,
kind of
like,
thing.
I had
Yeah.
something like this in mind. Do you have anything like this? And...
Yep. And he looks at it and he says, "Ah, yes. I created something like that just last year for the lady. Saddest thing when she lost her baby. A mourning gown, you know."
Yes, well, unfortunately, one can never be too prepared, especially in, I think, cold months such as these.
Of course.
Now you say, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that someone lost their baby last year.
Aye, Lady McElroy, sadly. The whole village took it rather hard, you know. We were looking forward to their firstborn. But, tragic. Just such a loss.
Oh, that's such a shame. I'm so sad to hear of it. I apologize for bringing up such an unpleasant memory for you.
No, how could you have known?
Well, I guess maybe I'll get busy at distracting him with, I don't know, ordering something.
Mm-hmm.
I'll pay for it with, I don't know.
100 dresses.
I would like all the dresses you have. Let me repeat myself. I don't want a lot of dresses. I want
right.
all of the dresses that you have.
Right. One of every pattern, please.
No, but probably something like, in that style, kind of like talking about like, oh, like what cut of sleeve is available and, this and that, just kind of chit-chatting if Haas or Iskander have any other, I don't know, poking around to do.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's not a large shop, so the Haas and Iskander, you're both hearing this quite clearly. He's not trying to be secretive or anything, so...
Yeah, I guess I wonder what the traditions are with the mourning dress. Is it like put in storage after? Is there a period of mourning where she would wear it and then it would go somewhere else? Because I'm wondering if it is her wearing it in the maze or if someone else, stole it and is using it.
Yeah, mourning dresses, probably not a shock to learn that, in Victorian society there were very specific rules about like how long you should wear black based on your relation to the deceased, and then you would move from black to gray for a period of time with, like increasingly larger amounts of gray to black ratio until it was eventually gray, and then you could start wearing regular clothes. All of this is like usually over the period of at least months, if not years. You would assume as a cultured diplomat that an aristocratic lady who suffers a miscarriage, we'd be talking about at least a period of 1 year of wearing all black. And
it's been over a year since.
All you've heard is that she lost the baby last year. So you don't know exactly how long it's been, but you would assume she would still be wearing this. But on the other hand, she never leaves her room. And this is the kind of dress that's for, wearing out in public.
Also, as a, lady, she probably has a couple.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Right. She doesn't just have the one. Yeah.
That truly does sound like it could potentially... I mean, even if it's still in rotation, though, for her own wardrobe, the fact that it's being kept in the shed is sus.
Word of the day.
So it might be, if it is the Lady McElroy, then it might not be somebody sneaking in from the village, but her sneaking out to the village. If we saw that scarf there.
I mean,
possibly.
I would have told you about the timing of my meeting and everything with her. Based on that, is there any possible way, if it was her, that she would have been able to get down there? Because I saw her and then went into the room and met with her. So, like, I don't feel like there is enough time in between.
The only way that could have happened was through sorcery or perhaps some kind of fairy magic.
Then, yes, it is possible.
It is possible in the world of Castle Falkenstein, yes. Not physically possible, not possible by the laws of physics, but perhaps possible through some other means.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, finding out if the dress has been misplaced or if it had been laid away, and seeing if it is still where it is expected to be or not is the thing, which definitely sounds like sneaking or getting in with one of the ladies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she definitely didn't have much of a reaction to the lady. I mean, I feel like she would recognize her own dress and be like, what the hell? But interesting.
Yeah. Hey!
I wonder if...
then again, she is seeing it from about 100 yards off, just as a thing.
If she's in a general fugue state, then,
Yeah, true.
Just a black dress, maybe.
If it is sorcery or something else, is there a way to find out?
Yes, actually, yes, good question. Grant, as a wizard, can sense for whether magic has been woven in an area recently or not.
Okay, well, I think we have a little bit of a direction to go in then. Seems like something supernatural is afoot.
I'd like to pipe up out of nowhere and ask the dressmaker.
Just a looming presence suddenly tilts in.
Yeah.
So
dear God, I thought you were
over, yeah.
Good gracious me.
Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
Again, yeah.
Over there. Do you remember anything peculiar about this particular dressmaking job? Anything that jumps out in your memory as out of place?
So yes, after recovering his nerve a bit, the tailor peers up at you through his owlish spectacles, and he says, "I don't know what you mean by that, sir. It was just a dress, like any other."
Perhaps, being that it was made for the lady of the castle, it would have to be made to specific measurements, and perhaps these seemed a bit inaccurate or similar. I'm just grasping at straws.
I can assure you, sir, that my dresses always conform to the measurements specified. I've never made an ill-fitting dress in my life.
Is this little tiny tailor? It's like,
yeah. Put up your dukes! Come on. Right. Let's see what you're made of there.
I'll chop you down one leg at a time. I assure you, sir, I meant no offense.
That's he's got those tailor scissors.
Ooh, yeah. All those pins and needles.
Things are like 18 inches long,
Similar, yeah. So, yeah. I will beg his pardon most vehemently. merely curious about the nature of such a dress. I apologize if I spoke out of turn.
Oh, it's fine, sir. I just take great pride in my work, and I'll not have anyone saying otherwise.
A sentiment I can respect one craftsman to another.
Would it be easy to tell if a dress that was custom made for one person was like poorly fitting on someone else? So if we caught a glance of someone, would you be able to tell that? Or...
Yes. Yes.
Like, would it be bunched up weird or other kind of signs?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Perhaps determine if it was altered.
That too. Now, meanwhile, outside the Eider's Down, Astrid, you've been keeping an eye on the pathway, and you see like one of the the maids from the castle come down at a certain point, and she heads over to the baker's, and gets a few loaves in her wicker basket, reemerges with the loaves under a little gingham towel, and then heads back off up the hill,
Right.
And then at a certain point, you're peering up towards the hedge maze, and you can see one of the landscapers, one of the gardeners out there with his big garden shears, trimming away, keeping the hedges, uniform.
Making uncomfortable eye contact while he does it.
Yep, just like from 300 yards away, just staring back at you.
Well, I'm eating one of everything at the place, so yeah.
That's right. They do a good what the hell is it called? Hold on, I just had it. It some kind of weird dish.
Some kind of weird dish. Sorry, Scottish people.
Oh no, it's called an Arbroath smoky. Arbroath smoky.
Sign me up.
Sounds delicious.
Yeah. Type of smoked haddock.
Nice. That sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, I just do what I did as a kid, which is order the sampler platter as my meal.
There you go.
So you get a little bit of everything. The Irish nachos and whatever else they have. But yeah.
Scottish nachos with haggis.
Yeah,
Scottish nachos. Oh.
Now with more haggis.
The mind reels. But yeah, as you're tucking in on your Arbroath smoky and your Finnan hattie and your tatties and your kippers, you see a young lady making her way down to the village church and ducking in, and from a nearby table, you hear one of the locals who's also, having a late breakfast say to their companion, like, "Ah, there goes Fiona again, off to the church as always. She must have many a sin to confess these days. She's in there almost every day."
Interesting. All right, what time about is it at this point?
Well, you had the breakfast at 9, so you would have wrapped that up around 10. So we'll say it's maybe 11ish.
Okay, so that's fine. I mean, technically, I would probably not see anyone until closer to sundown. But so I do a lot of eating and drinking in the meantime. Probably talking to the locals too, because I am very sociable.
Right.
And be like, "Oh, what do you mean? This sounds saucy," sort of thing, business.
Sure. Let's see here. What do we got here? So would that be your charisma then?
I think that would probably be the best bet for this one for sure.
All right. I'll need a great success out of you.
All right. So my charisma's good. So let's see. Going to my notes. Is that swords?
That is cups.
Cups. Emotional, romantic. I do have some cups. How many do I need to get from good to great?
Just 2. 2 points.
Okay. A pal.
Nice. All right. So what does that get us to? That is a 9. Okay, so that's going to be 15. Okay, so that'll get you a full success, which is good. So, yes, over your breakfast tea and your smoked fishies and your potatoes, you engage the locals and quickly win them over with your natural charm and charismatic demeanor. And over the course of your brunch, you pick up the rest of the rumors that Frederick didn't get the day before.
Filling in them gaps.
Oh yeah, and they run as follows. Number 1. The McElroys aren't immune to the problems caused by the clearances. Rumor has it that the family coffers are starting to run dry. Several servants have been let go, and craftsmen in the village haven't been called to the castle for repairs in months. Number 2. The few older residents of Brodick village who remain remember a black lady living on the Isle of Arran decades ago. She was a banshee who, despite her fearsome reputation, looked out for the locals. She hasn't been seen since the clearances began. The original Black Lady had little to do with the castle before, but some of the old-timers speculate that perhaps she has returned and is upset about the state of the Isle. And number 3. You can tell I'm reading off a list. Number 3. Lady McElroy was born on the mainland and only moved to the Isle after marrying her husband as part of an arrangement. She has always been somewhat fragile physically, and the strain of a failed pregnancy has obviously done her in, the poor thing. This was the lady's first pregnancy, and according to the village midwife, it is likely her last. The difficulty of the matter has likely left her barren.
All right. All very interesting and good things to know. All right. Cool. Glad I'm here.
Glad I'm hanging at the tavern. All right. So, let's go back. Speaking of the castle, let's go back on up and see what Grant's been up to.
Mostly laying in bed with the wife.
Having a bit of a lie-in.
That's right.
All right.
Chilling, honestly. But then I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go have a walk around the castle, and I'll bring you back some food, and I just wanted to relax, mostly so I can snoop.
Sure.
Of course,
no problem.
Honeymoon second, snooping first. So yeah, I kind of like get out and start. I'm looking for the help. I'm looking for people who work around here, and I'm trying to like isolate them.
You're trying to box them in.
Trying to box them in, so I can be like, hey.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's see here. That brings up an interesting matter of class, because on the one hand, you're a rough and ready American. On the other hand, what's your exchequer?
Oh, buddy, my exchequer is good.
Okay. So in that case, depending on how you want to approach this, you could use your charisma, or something else if you happen to think of it. Social graces wouldn't really work for you. So yeah, charisma is probably your best bet. But your exchequer is actually going to count against you.
Oh, interesting. Well, let me think here. I would say if my exchequer is going to count against me, I don't know. Is there a way that I could spend courage into this?
Like weave tales of your adventures and stuff?
Right. About how, basically just like telling about, I'm not going to like walk down the halls and being like, remember that time I did this thing? But,
because you defeated like the margarine baron and stuff, like.
Right, yeah. And even before that, like if my exchequer's counting against me, it looks like these people don't want to talk to rich folks. So I would probably, I'm not dressed real fancy right now. I'm probably just dressed in casual Grant.
Sure.
Which means like cowboy hat and, just kind of like, not really like lordly clothes or anything, but a suit. I would probably maybe approach one of these guys and some help and just be like, I might bring up tales of their own folklore, including this black lady, and then do a bunch of humble bragging and be like, I don't know that Kenny can do it, but I mean, it's too self-serving for me to do, I think, with a straight face. But kind of just being like, hey, I've had a tale or two written about me, and myself, and about like my time, and probably just talk about a bunch of like army time and time digging in the dirt and that kind of thing.
Okay.
And just being like, I only came into money by accident, and that kind of thing. I don't know if that helps at all. I don't know. I'll let you decide. You're the GM.
Okay. I am the host. Indeed. All right, so that sounds like it's the unofficial ability of storytelling, which Mark Twain and Jules Verne both have at extraordinary levels, but nobody else in the book has.
Well, I did come into this campaign with Mark.
That's true. And as you know, if you don't otherwise have an ability written down, that means it defaults to average. So, right. You can spin some tales. So yeah, I think it's completely credible that you just kind of casually, make your way around to the servants' entrance where a few people, like some of the laundresses are hanging out the linens to dry, and a couple other people are peeling potatoes, and they're just shooting the shit while they work. And you kind of come around, and first they kind of clam up, but then you put on the whole like folksy, like
totally, yeah. I probably like I'm asking them questions about. I'm definitely starting it up with like asking them questions about them, and their folklore and the stuff that happens in Scotland, and kind of talking about fairies and how there's not that many of them anymore. And but then I in order to relate, I probably start talking about my time in America, and it's mostly, I definitely kick it off with like, I grew up real poor on the frontier, and my mom and pop never had any money, and this and that, and I'm definitely telling the truth, but the truth is more gritty perhaps than I appear right now.
You're not telling them that what brains smell like, and that kind of thing.
Yeah. No. I want to keep it pretty good. I'm like, if they start asking me about the war, I would definitely tell them like I've seen some stuff, and
right.
I took a platoon without firing a shot one time, and that's probably one of the stories that I'm most well known for, because I happened to also fight a bear single-handedly that day.
That day.
That's right.
Fought a bear in the morning, captured 20 enemy soldiers in the evening.
That's right. Look it up. It's in my backstory. Like, here's my pamphlet.
Yeah. Got my character diary on me here.
You can read this at your leisure. But yeah, that's kind of how I would approach that, I think. And whether that's storytelling or courage or charisma or whatever, I'll let you decide.
Yeah, so that it would be storytelling. So and you'll need a great success with these naturally suspicious.
And what
servants.
Suit is that?
Storytelling would be cups.
Cups. That's a pretty good one. Let me see here. All right, let me see here. This could be interesting. I have no cups.
Okay.
So
good.
I have no cups. So we're starting off strong.
Yeah.
However, I'm gonna play the fool.
Oh my god. Jesus, Mary, and Joseph.
Yeah. It says, something quite unexpected occurs. The host should draw a card from the fortune deck and use its suit to guide them in creating a twist in the story. Swords and spades might mean that the barmaid has a dramatic character, or the barmaid, a dramatic character, is attempting to seduce is actually a princess in disguise. While pentacles and diamonds might mean the dramatic character not only strikes down an interfering guard, but convinces them to change vocations, blah, 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 blah.
Something unexpected occurs. Okay.
If
I draw a major arcana,
my feat simply succeeds in the most spectacular way possible. So I'm really playing the odds here.
the most spectacular way possible. You're immediately hired as the butler of Brodick Castle.
I changed my name to Jeeves.
Yeah.
Jeeves, yes, that's right. Oh my god. Okay, here we go. Throwing it down. Oh, what is this? That's not an arcana. Queen of Cups. How ironic. Okay. All right.
She's like, oh, is this what you're looking for? Cupsy.
It's exactly what she sounds like.
All right. So let's see. Cups are emotional and romantic activities. Draw a card from the person, creating a twist in the story. I know.
I'm married. I ain't dead.
Okay. I got it. So as you're telling these stories of your exploits in America, the staff is hanging on your every word. They're quite taken with all of this, and so finally one of them stands up. One of the ones who is peeling potatoes stands up, and he throws a potato back down in the starchy water, and he says, "I've had enough of this. I'm emigrating to America. Who's with me?" And everyone else jumps over there. "I."
This is good news. America loves immigrants.
Hey, as long as you're the right kind. So this island's dying anyway. We have no future here. Our future waits for us across the seas in America, where the streets are paved with cheese.
So, this is good news. I say, hey, not only do I love that you're going to America, because this is a great country, I would love to get you started by writing you a check.
An immigration starter set.
That's right.
Yeah.
Here's your start collecting box. For capitalism.
Uh-huh.
So now I'm essentially gonna try to, I don't want to say bribe him, but I'll give him some. I want to give him some money, and then and kind of while I'm slowly counting out the dollar bills, be like, so
like a game show host. 100, 200, 300.
Yeah, you tell me when to stop.
Oh man. All right, cool. So they, of course, they're tremendously grateful. They're all doffing their caps and thanking you, and so forth. And they say, "Sir, our lives changed for the better when you walked into them. If there's anything we can do for you at all, just let us know."
Oh, thank you. Of course. Well, I would like to know. Well, first of all, I'm just curious. What all do you know about this black lady? I'm awfully curious. I would love to get a look.
If you want to know my opinion, I think it's a scheme the Laird came up with to attract tourist tourist pounds.
There you go. Just a scheme, huh?
Aye. There was a black lady here once, long ago, so my grandpappy told me. But she has not been seen in many a year.
That's interesting. And I did hear about some unfortunate news with the lady of the castle. Is she okay?
Who cares? We're going to America. Come on, lads! And so they all go off.
Fair.
They all go off to tender their resignations.
Well, I'm keep my name out of your resignation letters if you can.
Absolutely no negative Like
No, not at all. Yeah.
Yeah.
Grizzly Grant! Grizzly Grant! Grizzly Grant!
Jesus.
So the
Like-
legend grows.
Yeah. This immigration paid by
yeah, exactly.
paid for from viewers like you. All right. Well, they leave, and I grab a loaf of bread and I head back to the bedroom. I guess.
grab an uncooked potato and head back to the bedroom.
There you go. I'm like, found this. I figured it was good Scottish food.
All right. So, very good. So, anything else, like back at the dressmaker's shop or anything going on there?
I don't think so. I think maybe we'll
Yeah.
circle back around and maybe find Astrid and then go from there. Because I think we learned pretty much everything we need to from the dressmaker.
Yeah, you know that he made the dress,
Yeah.
or at
Mhm.
least the original, if this isn't that or whatever. Yeah. So if you want to come by and get me, I don't know if we would want to check. I mean, I know Breksta probably wouldn't want to, but if we'd want to check out the church just to see if there's anything suspicious about it, but otherwise. Yeah, I mean, I don't know that Grant just made all of the help quit their jobs. So I would assume that we're probably still on for tea to like catch whoever it is that's dressed up as the lady.
We don't see the mob coming down the hill.
Yeah.
Like throwing off their butler uniforms and
Yeah, just swimming to the mainland.
I was purely present when they quit. I had nothing to do.
They're
Of course.
screaming your name as they march
Grizzly
down the
Grant,
hill.
Grizzly Grant.
I'm like, no.
Sounds like Grizzly Grant. What?
The classic toddler's excuse. I was just standing here, and then the whole staff quit, and then I started crying.
Right. That's exactly what happened. Then I lost a lot of money just now.
They mugged me. That's it. They mugged me.
Right.
Oh man.
There you go.
Grant with his "so what had happened was" story.
Yeah.
Yet again, his
So,
latest.
So what had happened? It's like, did you turn someone to butter again?
Yeah.
Not this time.
Not this time.
I do think we should check out the church, though. Well, I mean, Player B thinks we should check out the church because somebody heard that the suspicious lady in question is always going there every day. So if we can find a trail, a link, a passage, or something to near the shed or something like that.
I mean, best case scenario, she just goes there to pre-confess before, secret sex
Some
tunnel.
confessions.
Yeah. But if we want to get into a lot of trouble and make David's life more difficult, maybe there's
yay.
a secret tunnel from
Sure.
the church to the castle.
I'll get the shovels.
I was just sitting here thinking, what's the church equivalent of taxi cab confessions? And then I'm like, oh, just confessions.
Just confession.
Just plain old confession.
Just confessions. In my line of work, you hear a lot of crazy stories.
Little sound bites.
Yeah. All right, so obviously I don't think Breksta's terribly enthusiastic about going into the church.
Gross. Catholics are a different brand. I just not having it.
I mean, technically Presbyterian, but still, as far as you're concerned, it's all the same.
The what's?
Going in the kirk. All right, so Frederick, you want to go in? Iskander, Astrid, do you want to go in?
Yeah, since I'm
Who's
probably the
ready
one who
to
told
bless
them
me?
about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All the time.
All right. So the three of you, just poke your heads in, looking for secret tunnels and whatnot. But yeah, indeed, you see in the back pew the young lady Astrid that you saw walking in earlier, and she's in a kneeling position. She's praying the rosary, if that's something Presbyterians do. I'm not sure. We'll say it's the Presbyterian equivalent of that, if not.
So I would definitely stage whisper, it looks like she's just praying. Like, do we want to bother her or question her or something?
Doing my best to surreptitiously apply my tinkerer's engineer's eye to her figure, not in a salacious way, but to see if I can gauge, like, would the dress fit her.
Like Terminator style. There's little graph,
the grid
overlays. Yeah,
the wireframe. Down to see if there's a match. But like I said, I'm trying to do it not super noticeably, and probably failing miserably, I would imagine.
No, it's fine. I mean, you do have a tinkerer's eye, and you know these things. So, she's a young woman, and she's wearing simple but well-tailored, clothes. She's kind of, maybe middle class background, and yeah, I mean, she would definitely, if you were picking someone out of a lineup to try on that dress, she would probably be your first choice.
It's a fit. All right. At least in my estimation, it's a fit. Okay. I'll file that away. Share that with the group later. Because if I try to stage whisper, especially in a big, like, cavernous type of church built to, like, echo the hymns and the sermons and all that, it would probably be this booming, like, declaration.
It's her.
The suspicious dress is a perfect fit, my friends.
All right, so you note that to yourself. Is anybody else doing anything?
I think I'll just maybe exploring a bit, kind of wandering around the periphery, all little alcoves and whatnot, and occasionally looking over and trying to get a glance at the lady who's praying, just to kind of see if I recognize her or anything like that.
Okay, so, and then how about Astrid?
I would go sit next to her
Ooh.
and say, oh, this is a new church for me. Can you show me how to pray the way you're praying?
Okay, so you have a seat next to her, and you start talking to her, and she looks up, and she's like, and she just basically jumps to her feet and says, excuse me, I have to be going. And she very quickly hustles her way out of the pew and begins making her way out towards a side exit.
Yeah, the side hatch of the church.
Ooh, secret.
Not so secret.
Yeah.
I already have the shovel out.
I would definitely let her make her way out without me looking like I'm chasing her or anything.
Yeah.
But I would exit to see which way she's going.
Of course. Alrighty. Let's see. Yeah, no, it's just one of the side entrances.
Mm-hmm. Secret exit.
The secret. All right, fine. The secret exit. She goes behind a tapestry, and
we have many tapestries.
Yeah, and she goes down into the crypts below and into the tunnels. Yes.
And we dead, and we get to the castle.
Vestry, a vestry door. That's the word I was looking for. Okay, so you just kind of sidle over to the vestry door, and you open it, and you can see that she is nipping into the rectory building that is adjacent to the church. This would be the residence of the priest.
Yeah, going to Dad's house. All right. Cool. Great. I don't know that I want to go in there. Because that's just creepy and weird. I'm like, why are you running from me? Teach me your prayers. Like, just. So I'd go back inside and inform my friends of what happened. And especially conferring with Haas, because I obviously heard the same rumor he had already told us about, plus a few other things. And so I was like, do you think that's her? Did they describe her to you when you talked to them?
I mean, that is her, right? That's the same person that was described to me, right, Dave?
What was described to you was that she was the pastor's daughter and that she had the voice of an angel. Now, of course, you didn't really get to hear that voice too much, but she did go into the rectory, so...
And I did see her passing when, like, the townsfolk were like, ooh, naughty,
yes.
naughty.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, yeah. All right. So
okay.
I'm pretty sure that's her, but she's gone into the rectory. I don't know if it's wise for me to follow.
Yeah, I mean, I think we might be onto something here.
Well, if we're discussing our findings, I'll relate that as a result of my visual inspection, I am fairly confident that the dress would fit her perfectly, given her proportions and its measurements and such. As I'll blush a little bit.
Well, do we want to wait outside? What do you think we should do? Do you think we should go back for tea? I mean, I don't know.
I think we should probably head back to the castle at this point and see what is going on over there. But because
just a mutiny.
Because right now we're pretty convinced that it's probably her. I mean same dress size, using the secret, passages in and out of the church.
Trying to avoid the guests staying in the castle.
Yeah, that. So, but what do we do with that information? I guess is the question.
Well, I mean, as far as Astrid knows, there is the opportunity, perhaps, unless the Laird got mad for some reason, that we're having tea in front of the big window to see the lady. And then we would be able to confirm suspicions. So, I mean, in character, that would be my thinking, is that we'd want to get back for that, like, glamour to fall away and the ruse to be revealed. But I don't know if we want to keep an eye on this one instead.
Yeah, I think heading back. I'm wondering how she got the dress and also what she's really up to. I mean, it's kind of a strange thing to do. So, I think meeting back at the castle would be probably a good idea, and then going from there.
We're never getting invited back to Scotland.
Banned from Scotland.
Yeah.
I mean,
we can go mainland.
I just read a story about, was it New Zealand? Like, actually deported this, like, Irish family of tourists who were visiting and, like, just being so badly behaved and, like, running amok that they literally sent their immigration officers to, like, go home.
You have to leave now. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Well, it's us in Scotland.
That's us.
Yeah. There you go.
Just totally normal.
I was going to ask, what time is it, though?
So, yeah, I would be getting on for noon at this point, I imagine.
Okay. I'm actually kind of curious about maybe heading down to the tavern and finding the, like, oldest old farts I can possibly locate, and just asking to see if any of them remember the black lady who really was here. Just out of my own curiosity to kind of ask what she was like.
Totally. Very good. How about the rest of you? Do you want to head back to the castle, or wait for Breksta.
It'd be good to head back to the castle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I think so.
Head back and maybe pre-scope out the most direct route from our T window down to the hedge maze garden. If we have to get down there in a hurry, depending on what happens.
I don't think we're getting that tea.
But in the case that we have that tea, I think our ha moment would then, turn into the monologue of the laird and then mystery solved,
Nothing could go wrong.
Yeah, we have this all buttoned up. Good job, gang.
I know, it's like best case scenario. We're just pulling apart this last ditch effort for this lord to keep his means intact and to keep a little life in this village.
Those are our fastest.
Hey, I just saved this dude a ton of money.
Yes, maybe you just provided employment opportunities for many more villagers.
That's right.
I see nothing wrong with this. That's
more
right.
Jobs for all.
I just created more jobs. That's it.
Okay. So, yes, by the way, I should have, of course I should have realized, the Church of Scotland does not pray the rosary. Are you kidding me? No way. No way. They're all about, moral rectitude and
right.
upright Protestantism and all that kind of stuff.
Snake handling.
I was born a snake handler. I'm going to die a snake handler. Anyway, so Breksta, you go into the tavern. The rest of you go back to the castle. All right. Well, Breksta, you find a very welcome, tableau for you because it's a place for the common folk, and they are overjoyed to see one of the good folk here on the island once again. And so it's not just the old farts, but pretty much everybody in the tavern immediately gathers around and begins excitedly talking to you, and you very shortly have them eating out of the palm of your hand.
Loving it.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. So I mean, it's not to be too hard. Just kind of turn the conversation into, it's such a shame. I understand they left with their families. Blah 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 blah. Did any of you, know the Black Lady? I hear she was the last to be here, kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
After we've all had a few pints or whatever.
Indeed. Yep.
A round of whiskey for my friends.
Exactly. And yeah, they do confirm, the old timers do, that the old Black Lady was the last to leave, and that she was known as a friend to the villagers. She was always kind of trying to look out for them and look to their welfare, basically.
Why did she leave?
Oh, it was just the way it was going with the not the enclosures, the clearances. So many of us had left already, and or else quit for a life up in the hills. But she hung on as long as she could, and to be honest with you, I don't know exactly what the final straw was. If you will take my expression, she just disappeared one night.
When was that? How long ago?
Had to be about about 30 years ago, I suppose.
Well, this is a moment to kind of reflect my best contemplative face and then raise a toast, to the true Black Lady of whatever this village's name is.
Brodick.
Yeah.
Hello, Cleveland.
Springfield.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
All right. So they all raise their glasses in return, and a chieftain's concert spontaneously erupts. And but meanwhile, up at the castle. So
oh God.
So those of you who went down to the village walk back up to the castle and find a scene of total chaos ensuing, where most of the staff are out in the front courtyard, with their steamer trunks and valises, arranging for transportation. Jock seems to be one of the few who is remaining, and he is going around excoriating them, for their lack of loyalty to the Laird. Laird McElroy also is out there just looking completely bemused and flummoxed at this whole latest development. And the three of you come walking up the road.
Oh no, what's going on? Did they all get fired?
So McElroy says, somehow they all got the same cockamamie idea to go to America. All at the same time, they've all tendered their resignations. The ungrateful blighters.
Well, this sounds like something that the tales of my dear friend Grizzly Grant would inspire people to. He's nearby, like,
No.
Ixnay on the all A tales, hey.
Yeah. Oh, Grant, aren't you from America?
When you say America,
you from America? Now, America's a big
our friend
place
is from
now,
America.
and,
Maybe he can talk them out of it.
right? You guys do not want to come to America right now.
All right, so McElroy says, I wondered if maybe that American had something to do with it. Where is he? Where is the bastard?
Smash cut to Grizzly Grant in a hot bath. my brand new wife, like, massaging my feet, like treating me because I've been getting her food all day.
You got like one of those long handled scrub brushes. You're just working your back.
Totally. I'm like, boy, the water sure is clean out here.
We haven't seen him all day. We've been down in the village, so yes.
I'll be in my room.
Yeah, like, oh shit, it was him, wasn't it? This is the margarine safe all over again.
I don't do any of this on purpose.
that makes it even better.
I know. I'm like reading all these, all those memes about like horrible, like problem players, but they're doing it on purpose. Like mine is purely by accident.
My God, I've been meaning to take you aside and have a conversation. I know. So, I know.
I know, dude.
All right, so McElroy dispatches Jock to go fetch you, and he says, "I can't bear to watch any more of this. Come on in. Come in the house. Come in the hall." And he motions you all to follow him into the grand entry hall.
I certainly hope that this can be resolved. I'm so sorry.
Oh, I can't afford to hire a bunch of new servants. What am I going to do? And so meanwhile,
Is there anyone else in the village who would be willing to take up these jobs? I know you're poor. I heard the rumors.
All right, so Grant, your bath is interrupted by a fist pounding at the door of your chamber.
Rude, but I've been expecting this.
Come out, you bastard! You have a lot to answer for!
Oh, God. Now what do I do? I get out and I wrap a white towel around my waist.
Like a nice Turkish one you brought yourself.
Right, yeah, exactly. And I'm like, listen up, honey.
We might have to get out of here real quick.
We might have to leave.
Start packing.
Happy honeymoon.
Yeah.
I'm legit about to jump out the window. I don't know what else to do.
Be prepared to hitch your linen. We might have to skedaddle.
Right.
Well, I mean, Grant does have good courage, right?
That is true. Grant does have good courage. Okay.
Yeah, just answer the door naked. You don't give it.
Catch him off guard. That's exactly
right.
what I'll do.
The power move.
I take the towel off. It's a power move for sure.
I was hoping we get the Grizzly Grant hanging dong. You know, can't have a
That's right.
Falkenstein story without Grizzly Grant hanging dong.
Exactly right, dude. We've come full circle to the blood sausage.
Oh, and then he recognizes you from your films. Oh,
That's
yes,
right.
perfect.
Like, do you remember? Does this look familiar? So, all right, yeah. Grizzly Grant does have good courage, dude. So he's gonna go into the door.
All right.
He
Naked?
knows. Yeah, probably naked. I mean, just as a sign of dominance.
I mean, it's a guy on the other side. You heard his voice,
it's
so
a guy. Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, look.
imagining just your hat, like holding it right in front.
Oh, there you go.
Problem?
That's right.
Yeah, right.
That is a classic.
Classic.
Western
Absolutely.
Perfect. Okay, perfect. Yeah,
with
I'll do
the
that.
suds still on you, you know.
Yeah, because I'm like, what in tarnation?
Still holding the back scrubby.
Yeah.
That's right. In case I need to use it for defense, I will have a duel with a back scrubber. All right.
All right.
Yeah, I got my hat in front of my sensuals, and
Essentials.
I'm like, honey, you just wait here, and I'll be right back. And I pull the curtain in front of her, and I go answer the door.
All right, so it is indeed Jock, and he's only misses a beat, seeing you in your state of undress, and then he goes, the lad wants to see you immediately.
What is this about? You've interrupted my bath, as you can see.
It's about the servants out of the front. That's what it's about, and I think you know what I'm talking about. So put some clothes on and come down to the Great Hall.
Okay.
Post haste.
Okay. All right. I'm all right. I don't know. I don't know. All right. I shut the door.
Don't get your kilt in a twist.
That's right. I know what that feels like. Get it? Yeah. I slammed the door. Rather, I mean, not like super hard, but I close it with some oomph.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I throw on some clothes. Probably some nice. I throw on some nice clothes because I'm gonna try to buy my way out of this.
Throw on your best bolo tie, etc.
That's right. Yeah, I got the the bison skin. The whole nine.
Mm-hmm. Turquoise.
Totally. Turquoise. I got turquoise ring on every finger.
How could this possibly fail to impress?
Nothing can go wrong.
Oh my goodness. All right. Meanwhile, back down at the tavern, the singing and the reminiscing. Perhaps it's your presence there, Breksta. It's hard to say, but it seems to be having some kind of effect on the general gathering. The fire in the fireplace begins to dim in its brightness, and the candles begin to gutter in their wax, And outside, that October weather, it's been actually kind of a pleasant day, clouds skidding across the sky, but, not too bad. But now the wind is beginning to pick up and the clouds are turning gray, gathering ominously overhead. Rain begins to fall. And in the hall, McElroy is pacing back and forth when Grant comes down, finally, looking, like a trendsetter.
Insultingly fresh.
Insultingly fresh.
That's right.
Never smelling of sandalwood. And McElroy says, "Did you have anything to do with my staff quitting on me today?"
Well, I guess that depends on what you mean by that, sir.
I mean, almost my entire staff quit to move to America. You are an American. Did you have anything to do with this? Are you spreading sedition in my halls, sir?
Oh, wow. Okay, let's not get into...
Oh, no.
Yeah, exactly. Let's calm down
accusation.
Here. That's right. Where I come from, there's consequences, sir. And if by having anything to do with your staff leaving, if by that you mean I told them to quit, I did not.
All right. You're a man of your word, and I'll take you at it. Can you give me any insight into what's going on, then?
Well, it seems to me that they were allured by the promises of America, and they decided to up and go. Now, I may have been involved in that conversation, and but I in no way insinuated that they should, up and leave. That was of their own volition. However, I do understand that how this looks, and I do understand that now you're left without some servants here. And if there's anything I can do to make it up for you, I will do my best.
Well, it's going to take me a while to find new servants that I can rely upon. That's going to be a heavy burden on my household, unfortunately, but that's for my concern and not yours.
Well, I wouldn't want to hire anybody on your behalf, sir.
Of course. Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry about all this. It's not turning out the way you hoped, I'm sure. Especially as being your honeymoon and all.
Well, it has been an exciting trip, nonetheless, and this castle is quite beautiful, I must say. And of course, the help was very nice.
How are the rest of you feeling about all this?
Yeah, are you guys there? Is everyone got back?
Yeah, I was gonna say we're still watching this play out.
Right.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I was gnawing on haggis while watching.
Got a popcorn bucket full of haggis and blood sausage.
We're just sneaking by to go have our tea party at the big window.
I'm like, there's no tea. Look, we can boil some water. It's not a big deal.
No, so basically, you're basically in the grand hall of the castle, which has a big fireplace. The walls are covered with various antique pistols and hunting rifles, and then lots of stuffed and mounted deer and elk heads from hunting trophies. And then there's this kind of grand staircase that goes up, into the castle itself.
All right. I mean, I didn't know we were there. I definitely would have walked over while Grant was explaining himself, slap him on the back, and vouch for him.
Nice.
No, not too late now.
My friend Grizzly Grant is known the countryside over for his tall tales and his love of his home country. I'm sure he was merely extolling this sentiment, and that such feelings made the rounds. whatever decisions the servants came to must have been their own.
You know, that's exactly what happened to Iskander.
Funny you should mention that.
Funny you should mention. It's almost as if you were there.
I mean, honesty is one of my virtues. I calls him like a Caesar.
That's right. Yeah, I don't know. I do feel bad. I don't know that there's much I can do. If I've been looking through my spells and
oh no.
Remember how bad it was? Well, it's gonna get worse.
It's about to get worse.
It's gonna
Have you ever wanted servants but butter?
Have you ever wanted?
Did he say better?
No.
Butter.
No,
butter. 2 words for you. Butter butler.
I mean, it's sentient, right?
I'm listening.
It's fine.
Yeah. Keep talking.
That's right. So, yeah. Well, I don't want to get ahead of myself. This is Kenny talking. Definitely not Grant right now. But I do have the ability to transmute flesh into gold. So, if there... Don't give me that look.
Go on.
Anyone else read The Merchant of Venice? Come on.
I'm just saying if we get like a human sacrifice together, we can fix this guy's financial problems.
You didn't even go for like a
Quicker man.
like
Quicker man.
You went for
Oh, yeah, that's true.
sacrifice.
I forgot other things were made of flesh.
It's like that holiday ham back in the pantry.
Yeah,
Let's
just
save
like
that.
a pile of kippers. Like,
That's right.
no,
I could do.
human servants who want a better life. Let's turn them into
I didn't
gold.
say servants. This is not about. This is not about class. It's just about humans.
It'll be a random
Yeah,
lottery.
not the servants. Turn the lady of the castle into gold. I mean, what's she doing? Just laying around in her boudoir
Yeah.
all day long? You know?
All are equal in the eyes of my dark lord Baphomet.
That's right.
She can literally be worth her weight in gold
Yeah, I can make that happen.
instead.
So again, that was Kenny talking, not Grizzly.
Right.
I don't know that that's legal. But yeah, that's something that maybe we can work into the plot somehow, because there's no way that could go wrong.
Nope. Well, how are the rest of you feeling? I mean, there's a storm brewing up outside. Where are you at in terms of the mystery?
Tea or no, I think we should still post up at that window and see if we can observe the goings on. Sticking with that plan, I think, makes sense, and all that. We'll just pass around Grant's flask instead.
Yeah, the only reason I suggested tea is because it's like in their wing, so I wasn't sure we'd just be allowed up there.
Correct.
We might have to smooth things over first if we can. Or we might have to just abort that plan and go to the like side hatch and just try to catch him direct that way.
I think the Laird might need some alone time. But I do think everything's kind of smoothed over a little. He apologized to me.
True.
I'll just say that.
Hey, where'd that ring of keys get off to? The maid.
Oh, I can
Ring
scare the maid again.
keys.
Yeah, was she the maid who was locking all the doors? Was she one of the ones who left?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
I wonder
Yeah.
if she left the keys behind, because if we could get our hands on that, then
They all piled their belongings next to the giant chalk graffiti that says Grizzly Grant for president.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
Haas will look around and see if he can spot, keys to the castle anywhere.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. How about the rest of you?
Yeah, if T isn't looking to work out, I will kind of pretend like, oh, looks like there are some things left here to resolve. I'll just head back down to the village and get a bite and go keep an eye on the side hatch.
All right. So, stepping outside, you see that it has turned into a full-blown gale at this point.
Oh, it's crazy go nuts. I don't know much about Scotland. I don't think Astrid does. To know if this is unnatural or natural, but I am highly educated. Would I know if this seemed like a natural storm?
It's natural-ish. It's not, it's not, it's not like,
it's not like clouds, really
right. There you go. Exactly. Yeah. But it is a pretty, angry storm.
No side hatch today. This seems too dangerous. And Breksta's still stuck down in town.
Seemingly so.
I hope she's okay.
Yeah.
We should probably all shelter inside, including perhaps the servants who may want to rethink what a wonderful place this is, gesturing to all the heads.
Most of them have headed down to the pier at this point to, await the ferry back to the mainland.
Damn, so they're scooting.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
They were serial.
I guess that's just how you did it back then.
All right, yeah. Then I guess I'm going to hide out inside. Haas has gone in search of stuff. Yeah. Cool. Well, maybe no one left to lock the doors at least, so we'll see.
Indeed. What's your end game there, Haas, if you do find the keys?
I think it was just, if the doors are locked, then we don't need the keys. It was just to gain access to parts of the castle that were off limits.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If there are such places, which I'm assuming there are.
Oh, normally, yeah. But what you find is that without the servants around, you pretty much have free reign.
All right. So my hand is my key.
That's right. Your hand is registered as a key.
Well, I suppose we could head to the window of triggering and assume that he's too busy moping or whatever to stop us. But I don't know if anyone would try to put on a dress and go sneaking through the maze in this kind of weather.
You do it now. Did any of you take the original dress, or is that still in the tool shed? No, that you put the glamour dress in the tool shed.
Yeah, the burlap dress.
Who has the actual dress?
Haas does, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think one of us. At the very least, if no one else wanted it, I would take it, just because.
Because dress.
Well, because I left something funsies behind in its place. I'm not gonna ruin my joke.
Yeah, and I thought the idea was you had the original to use to find the maker, and then the fake one was in the shed or whatever.
That's true. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Breksta, eventually, you kind of finish up down at the pub, and you can make your way back to the castle at this point.
I think this feels like a supernatural gale.
It's definitely something that's being brought on by some outside force. Yes.
I could. I'll stay out of it for now, but I can sense magic happenings. Breksta, can you do that also?
I think that my question was pretty much that. I don't have an actual skill in it, but
mine's a spell, so I didn't know if you had the same thing.
Mine is more like a spidey sense.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Although I think it's things my glamour ability lets me see through other glamours or something like that. Or it might just be perception.
Yes. You can. It's glamour and sorcery work differently. So, it's definitely not sorcery grant. Like, you're not getting any kind of feeling on that level.
Fair.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so yeah, Breksta's making her way back up to the castle. What are the rest of you doing?
Yeah, I think I would at least try to head to the window and see if I could keep watch.
Yeah, I feel like I'm wanting to stick to that plan, like, pretty stringently. That was our plan. I want to see it through, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, same.
Cool.
Question.
Yes.
As I'm heading up from the tavern, is it quicker to take, like, the main road, or is it quicker to take that little footpath that we found by the tool shed?
Definitely the footpath.
I think I'm gonna choose to sneak back that way.
Okay. You do so. The rest of you head up to the, the south wing, which overlooks the hedge maze, and the hall is unnaturally dark from the gloomy skies outside, and the windows are being splattered with rain. Obviously, there are no tourists or anybody down in the maze in this kind of weather. And you watch from your vantage point for any sign of movement down there, eventually spying something before realizing that it is Breksta coming back up from the village.
That would be pretty dramatic. Look there! It is her!
But smaller, and it's Breksta, hello!
Did you see us in the window waving?
Yeah. Hey.
Wave back. Now imagine I can, I don't know, hit that etherealness and just like my hair is not even mussed. I'm just like...
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Right, yeah. You're like an elf walking on snow. It's just, there's no issue here. Alright. So, yeah. There you go. Rain cancellation, perhaps.
Yeah, when Breksta gets back to us inside, though, I would say, like, oh, I'm so glad you made it in this weird weather. It got all crazy all of a sudden.
Yes, well, I suppose it does that sometimes. It does make me wonder who's about, but, sometimes it just has a mind of its own, especially this close to the coast.
Well, nothing weird has happened here at all. There's no tension and everything's just normal.
Did you see a group of chanting ex-servants stomping their way down to the ferry?
Did I?
You definitely heard a commotion at some point, but of course you were in the tavern and people were singing songs and whatnot. So yeah,
I was imagining like a cut scene where everyone's like, "Oh no, I hope she's okay," and then it's like leading the chant, like standing on a table or something like that.
Right? Yeah. Exactly.
It's like the opening credits in Goonies, where like every character gets their little interaction with the mob running by.
Right.
Well, I mean, I suppose at this point it's wait for the weather to clear up and see if we can figure it out another day, or decide that, yes, it's probably a sham, but it's not actually dangerous, because that was my main task here. I was asked to see if it actually was a banshee, and it doesn't seem so.
No, it doesn't seem that way.
I don't think banshees have to borrow dresses. I think they just have them.
Is it? Do I know enough about banshees to know whether or not they tend to be like, I don't know, prideful or anything like that?
They can be very protective.
Okay, I guess I'm just wondering, like, because the weather is a little suspicious. I mean, lots of things can raise nature, as it were. But I'm kind of wondering if nobody knows what happened to, like, the OG Banshee. If she would be upset or offended if somebody is dressing up and masquerading.
It's a possibility. So you have your suspicions. Do you want to try and confirm those suspicions? Would be my question.
Look, I've got a magic spell. I can charm people. I could just try to charm the laird, and that it would at least get him more cooperative to like our questioning. Or, I mean, we could be like, we saw this lady in the church, like, do you know this lady or whatever? Or we could just, I mean, what's the other plan? Just run this later down?
It's up to you guys.
Yeah, I think maybe it would.
Is it like,
to see
if he has, like, his diary, like, Dear Diary, today I hatched a scheme to make money from our castle. It's going great. Love.
It's not going great. Yeah. The plan was so good.
It's almost as though somebody knew the plan was happening and needed a way to foil it. I wonder what the lady of the castle is up to.
I know where her room is if we want to say hello.
That's true.
Very well.
All right. You gonna bust in the door of their private chambers?
I
have like eavesdrop or something like
that. Yeah,
that?
can we just cup and ear and door?
Sure. So you, you're already kind of in that part of the castle anyway. So you head down to the doors to the private bedchambers. Put your ears to the panels, and you can indeed hear some low chatter coming from inside. Sounds like the laird and the lady are both in there. They're talking.
I can't quite make out what they're saying. Breksta, I don't know if you have enough poofness to invisible your way in there.
I could certainly try.
Only if you think it's worth it. They're definitely talking about something.
Well, I do love spying on people. That being said, what I really need are some wands. And I don't have any. However, what would I need to get like a great success?
What's your etherealness normally?
It is at good.
Good. So you just need 2 more points.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah, then maybe let's go ahead and dump this guy and this guy.
Sure.
Add 2.
All right.
And I can make myself into like an inconspicuous mist and go in through the keyhole kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Like a tiny mouse or something.
All right. So you do so. And as you float down to the carpeted floor, you can hear that they're having a somewhat quiet argument. Lady McElroy is in the middle of saying, Don't try to tell me otherwise. I know that my morning dress has gone missing. I had that specially made. And the laird is just, saying like, you daft woman. You only had the one in the closet. You didn't have two. You're misremembering. Your memory hasn't been as good ever since,
And gaslighting asshole.
Uh-huh.
Your memory hasn't been as good since,
I'm kind of feeling good about what happened with the servants.
We could just do a murder and let her inherit the castle or whatever.
Straight up, I could cast Disintegrate, or I could turn his ass to gold.
I was just wondering. I think that I can do like throwing my voice and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
Is it possible to do something like emulating kind of like an ethereal, otherworldly like wail of his name outside? Or
sure.
Outside?
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah.
I would love like a really like dramatic moment.
Absolutely. Okay.
Also, I need to redraw some cards.
The dramatic moment presents itself almost instantaneously as Lady McElroy says, "How dare you? How dare you try and put it on that? You should be ashamed of yourself, Thomas McElroy."
So like a Thomas, but like over the wind somehow, through the window kind of a thing.
Okay. Yeah, perfect. So that happens, and he immediately spins around and he's looking at the window and he's turned white as a sheet, The rest of you out in the hall hear it as well. But then you hear it echoed from behind you at the far end of the hall.
Well, obviously, I turn around and look at the scary thing. Phasmophobia, fingers in my eyeballs, and then I
die. So as you turn to look, you see that the doors at the far end of the hall have just flown open, accompanied by a dramatic flash of lightning. And there's a figure standing in the doorway. Now, the servants being gone, no one's going around and lighting candelabra or anything, right? So, it's just this kind of dimly silhouetted figure in the half light of the early evening that's coming in through the darkened clouds. But it appears to be a woman in a black dress that's almost moving of its own accord, as if invisible wind is whipping it around. There's a black veil.
Not the same exact style of the one that we found.
No, this is it's very tattered and raggedy, And there's this black veil that's just clinging over the face, I
mean, the residents did tell me that there was a real black lady that protected the Isle. So as Astrid, I'm going to assume this the lady. And I'd be like, "Oh, my lady," and I'll curtsy, whatever, act casual.
Everything is fine.
This is normal.
Looking for Thomas or whatever, so I'll be like, "This is the room. If you need to find him, we were trying to figure out what's going on. Very suspicious."
Let me just open that door for you.
Yeah, so here you go. Don't murder me.
That's fine. Everyone else following suit, or anyone else want to do something differently?
First of all, I imagine my wife is probably screaming, so I hold her and she buries her.
I thought you left her up in the guest chambers.
Oh no, she's probably down here chilling.
Okay. Not chilling no more.
That's right. Yeah, she's freaking out, and I hold her, and my courage is good, is great. So I'm holding my ground, even though Grant's a little weak in the knees when it comes to ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
And I would definitely be offering as much exposition as I could in my politeness to her, like, "Oh, the real Black Lady, protector of this fine isle. You have returned to your home. Welcome, doorway.
Right this way. Yeah, I'm going to let Astrid do the talking because obviously she's braver than I am.
Iskander is also screaming in a very uncharacteristic. And he's probably hugging on to Grant as well, because my courage is only average. As a man of science, I've never been confronted with something like this before. So you have your lady wife on one side, burying her face in your chest, and me on the other side is kind of like holding on to both of you.
You got like your hands on both of our like arms, and you're trying to hide behind us, but you're still you're way wider than both of us.
Right.
Yeah, probably. Because that's I'll charge through a hail of machine gun bullets.
Scary movie.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'll charge through a hail of machine gun bullets to protect my friends. No problem. But what the fuck is that? Like, just completely.
I told you it's the real Black Lady protector of this isle returned to their home.
If there was a chance for me to regain my composure, it's because Astrid is just like completely, just. Business as usual with this, so we'll see. But for now, like that's freaking me out big time.
And how about Frederick?
Frederick is terrified beyond the capacity for rational thought.
Mm-hmm. Excellent.
And he's just going to flatten himself against the wall,
right,
and take little nips off of his absinthe flask.
His absinthe flask. All right. So the lady,
like a Bunsen burner on the bottom of it.
Yeah, exactly. No, he just drinks it straight. It's disgusting.
Oh
God. So the lady in black begins to move forward with a kind of floating, motion, like as if she's on casters, and she raises up an arm, and you see a long, pale white, bony hand pointing, forward at the door, and in a voice which I will not attempt because I don't want to give myself vocal nodes, but it sounds like, quote, rusting nails dragging across pitted metal sheets. She says, "I am Katir Mac Anaba, and I am the Banshee of the Isle of Arran. For years now I have wandered afar, looking for a way to take back my home from the greedy and the cruel. Now I have returned and discovered the laird of this castle, repaying my good intentions by mocking both my name and my legacy with a pale imitation."
Yes, we were actually sent here to discover what was behind this whole charade. I'm so happy you are back to fix this whole situation.
I imagine he was just taking a dramatic pause for a breath and looks like, I'm not done.
I had more to say in my monologue. No, actually that was it. Now, Breksta, you're in the bedchamber, and you and the laird and lady can all hear this as well. It's like as if it's on a PA system, And McElroy, backs up, backpedals so fast that he actually trips over the little, little couch at the base of his bed and falls back on the mattress,
And I do a cool little rush of wind against the back of his neck and a whisper "What have you done, Thomas?"
Ooh, nice. All right, so he jumps up at the sound of that. Lady McElroy is looking utterly confused and terrified. And so Thomas rushes forward, one of his slippers flying off, and he throws the doors open. So now you can all see him, and he looks pale, terrified. His eyes are like saucers, and he goes, "Oh, it's true, it's all true. I was only trying to raise money. We're broke. We don't have any money. It was the only thing I could think of. It's all on that pastor's daughter down in the village. She came to me. She asked me if there was anything she could do to help. I came up with a scheme, but she carried it out. She's wearing my wife's old mourning weeds. But I swear it was all in good intention. I didn't mean to hurt anybody. Oh, please don't hurt me.
No dice.
Can I just appear
no mercy.
as like a floating version of the dress, but like no body, just
Ooh.
like right behind him?
Nice. Excellent. So he says, "Oh God, please have mercy on me. Oh Jesus, oh please," and he's like just burying his face in the rug at this point. It's quite pathetic.
I cast disintegrate. Just kidding.
Disintegrate.
Yeah, I'm just turning to the scared group out in the hallway, like, I really don't think it's a good idea for him to, ask Jesus for help. I mean, the Banshee's right here. I don't think she'd like it very much.
Awkward.
What can we divine what she wants, or what her end goal is? Is there a peaceful resolution?
Well, she seems set on vengeance. She's quite upset. But, I mean, she's not an automaton, if someone wants to try and talk to her.
Maybe I could.
Yeah.
Do we want to?
That's the question.
The lady seems nice. Maybe just eat his face and then hang out on the island.
Or, honestly, my thought is, I don't know, appearing as myself, I'll drop my little facade. But
yeah.
I did get to hear the townsfolk talk about how much they've missed her.
Mm-hmm.
She really is remembered, they didn't fall for the trick, and I know that, for the residents that she once protected, right?
Mm-hmm.
They didn't even, blame her or weren't upset, nobody was angry at her leaving, they were all really understanding. And so I feel like trying to reach out to her, that the people who are here, still yearn for her comfort and for her help, that her legacy has not been forgotten, is maybe the least tragic angle to spin.
Right.
For all of this.
I love that idea. I do want to ask David.
Yep.
Has anything that the Laird has done been illegal?
No.
Okay. So there's no we're taking you to jail.
No, just unethical.
Right. He just gets dragged to hell, or he gets away with it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, fair. Breksta, take it away.
All right, so that's more or less what you are saying directly to the Banshee.
Yes, I think I would, appear in my normal form, small and humble, and for once, and yeah, just kind of walk up to her and sister, the townsfolk, their love for you is true, and they have missed you all these years. They have not forgotten the great gift of your presence, and they remember. They have not been fooled. I know that they would feel truly, truly blessed in their own way to have you back with them again.
Nice. All right, your choice of charisma or social graces to pull this off.
Well, my charisma is great.
Hello.
And let's see. I don't think I have any cups right now, but I could always just drop some cards if that's helpful.
If you emptied your hand, it would be helpful. Yes.
All right. Well, let's do that. In the last hour of the game.
Yeah. Okay. Damn. Boom. All right, that bumps it from an 8 to a 12, which gives you a full success. Because indeed,
from an 8
you said great, right?
I did.
Okay, so yeah, great is 8. Now, normally you need an exceptional, but if it's a fairy, specifically says here, if it's a fairy trying to calm down the Banshee, then it's only a great. So you're able to bump yourself to a full. And so you can see through this veil, and it's very 90s music video with the fan just blowing the veil against the face, kind of thing. But yeah, her face under the veil is the skin pulled taut over the bones. But the expression was one of unbridled fury. But as you begin talking to her, it softens, as she listens. And And then she looks down at Laird McElroy and she says, "If what you say is true, then perhaps you are only trying to do what is best for the island. I can work with you, Laird McElroy, and the people of this isle. What must needs be done is we buy back as much of the land as possible from the steam lords who purchased it to begin with. In my travels, I have discovered the location of a hidden treasure. Unfortunately, it is inaccessible at its current location in its current form. However, should the gold be recovered, we may be able to repurchase enough of the island to restore the old ways." And so with that obvious plot hook dangling in front of you...
Right. It's the greatest plot hook of all time.
Indeed.
Stack in the doorway, like...
Right, yeah. Steam Lords, gold.
Gold.
And
hidden treasure.
Over the Steam Lords, don't mind if we do.
Tee.
But yes, we will draw a curtain on the haunting of Brodick Castle, and move on to our final story, beginning next week.
Oh.
Indeed.
But what an awesome adventure.
Yes. And just so you know, I mean, it was an option just to let the Banshee go ham. She would have tormented Laird McElroy and Fiona, the pastor's daughter, with her glamour-induced nightmares until she grew bored with that, at which point she would have just rended them limb from limb. Unfortunately, that would have then... Well, see, unfortunately, it would have then set up a haunting of an angry ghost at the castle for any future residents who would have then also been torn apart.
Well, her castle. I mean, stop moving in.
Yeah,
right.
It happens.
It's occupied, okay?
Occupado.
Doctor, people keep getting rent limb from limb at this castle. Fucking stop going there.
Yes.
Pretty
This
obvious.
is a job for Karnaki the Ghost Finder. All right, well, that was it. That was Brodick Castle, everybody. So
That was awesome. Good job.
Yeah,
Well
good
Just to
times.
celebrate our finishing up in Scotland, I will send you all one of my favorites, Donald Where's Your Trousers, as you should all listen to because it's hilarious. Everyone needs a song about a guy in a kilt and all the ladies asking where his trousers are.
Trousers
as the wind blows up and the wind blows down.
Nice.
So,
Nice.
Hell
There
yeah.
Well, all right.
I've got the same last name as this guy.
Oh, it's the person who did it?
Yeah.
Nice.
Andy Stewart. Distant relative, honestly.
Yep.
Probably.
Oh, man.
Oh, a Jacobite, eh?
Oh, shit.
Now I have to move again.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
Serious accusation.
yeah, right. Damn.
Oh, man.
So, okay, so we
have
could...
Rainey make up a pamphlet, like a PDF of like, enjoy a stay at beautiful Castle Ren.
Brodick Castle.
Right, yeah.
Because that was awesome.
What?
Yeah,
I was
Go
going to
ahead.
say,
Yeah.
what, was there, like, you could let the ghost go ham,
Mhm.
or you could, was there any other option, or was there anything we missed?
You got most
Could
of
we
it.
let her go like half ham, like spiral ham?
Right.
Right.
Where it's like, just kill
Like-
this guy, then hang out and work with the lady.
Right.
And maybe also, heal her uterus or find her a new good husband or something.
Right. Let's see here. So you can decide to let the Banshee punish Thomas and Fiona. This will mean their brutal deaths as she plagues them with glamour nightmares before ripping them apart with her bare hands.
Nice.
Once the two and any who try to defend them are dead, she will depart. She has no desire to punish anyone but the two conspirators. But then it notes later that you would later hear reports of people being murdered at the castle. Then you can attempt to reason with her, which you did. And then finally you can just attempt to fight the Banshee to drive her away, which is your least optimal solution.
I did consider it. I considered it for a moment.
Just shooting her.
Yeah. If you recall, 10 years ago when we started this adventure, I was like, can you shoot ghosts?
Can you shoot ghosts? Yeah.
Short answer, no.
Right.
Man, we don't have no proton packs and ghost traps and shit like that, man. Like,
that's true.
Oh yeah, the main thing you didn't uncover is just the pastor's daughter's side of the story, which is that McElroy basically promised to pay her for doing this so that she could pursue her dream of moving to London to sing on the big stage. So if that had come out, it would have actually worked pleasant back into the narrative because they would have like gone off to form a comedy duo or something.
Was she like half fairy or anything like that?
No, she's just the pastor's daughter.
Okay. I thought I was like the voice of an angel.
Oh right, yeah. No, that's the clue that she, has a
wants to
yearning to perform. Yeah. And they were having an affair too.
Oh, they were.
Oh, they were. Oh yeah.
On top of everything.
On top of everything. Yeah.
They were.
McElroy sucks.
He really does.
Yeah, he's a problematic fave for sure.
Problematic favorite.
Anyway. All right, y'all. That was a good one. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Yes, that was awesome.